Hello, everyone. Sue.oneschuk here, continuing the workbook lessons of A Course in Miracles. And today we continue on with review 6, and we're on lesson 218. And we continue with, I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. And today it's the review of lesson 198. And it is only my condemnation injures me. It says, my condemnation keeps my vision dark, and through my sightless eyes, I cannot see the vision of my glory. Yet today, I can behold this glory and be glad. I am not of body, I am free, for I still am as God created me. So, again, I am not a body, I am free. At this point, you may want to check in with yourself as well. Are these still words? Are you beginning to trust this? Knowing that we are totally limitless as we are when we are with God, in the mind of God, and with God all things are possible. This occurs when we reach a stage of trust in our transfer from fear to love, and refusing to use the body for the ego's use. So when I speak of trust here, in the manual for teachers, under section 4, what are the characteristics of God's teachers? It goes at length to speak about the various stages in developing trust here, in this transfer from fear to love, in this undoing process, undoing the ego thought system. So it is awakening to and remaining awake to the body being repurposed, because it's a teaching tool, and the body is a communication device. And again, we're not the body. We are light, we are spirit. And again, it is the light that we are that uses the body. It's not a body housing the light. And again, remember, we are not an ego. We just have bought into an ego thought system that has created this personal identity that is not of God, that is all based in fear. So I want to go back over the lesson again, of lesson 198, and I'm going to review here a few more of the paragraphs. And again, the lesson is, it's only my condemnation. Only my condemnation injures me. In the first paragraph, what I want to say, it's also, there's some similarities here in terms of the previous lesson 196 that says it can be myself that I crucify. Somewhat these two go hand in hand, the condemnation and the crucifying. So it says injury here in this lesson, injury is impossible. And yet illusion makes illusion. And it says, if you condemn, you can be injured. For you have believed that you can injure. And the right you have established for yourself can be now used against you. Until you lay it down as valueless, unwanted, and unreal. And that's all based, in what is not the truth of who we are. It says, then does illusion cease to have effects when we give up believing in the illusion. And those it seemed to have will be undone. It said, then you're free. For freedom is your gift, and you can now receive the gift that you gave. So it goes on to say, condemn, and you are made a prisoner. Forgive, and you are freed. Forgive, stop judging and stop making others wrong or making yourself wrong. Forgive all that. Let it go. Such is forgiveness. It is the law that rules perception. So remember, condemnation blocks out the light. It blocks out the light. Your light is always there. It's when, again, you're caught up in the ego thought system of condemnation that you are blocking out your light. And can't be repeated over and over again enough. The ego is all based in fear. And the result, again, is guilt and self-attack. Whereas our holy self, the light that we are, our holiness, our innocence, is used for clarity and light. So, what you want to see, or what you see rather, is what you want to be there. And what you want to be there is what you think that you are. So if you're condemning yourself, or you're condemning others, or you're crucifying yourself, you're betraying yourself, you have blocked out the light that you are, that's what's going to be present for you. So again, it reiterates, forgiveness is the only road that leads out of disaster, past all suffering, and finally away from death. It says, how could there be another way when this one is the plan of God himself? And why would you oppose it, quarrel with it, seek to find 1,000 ways in which it must be wrong, 1,000 other possibilities? And it says here, is it not wiser to be glad you hold the answer to your problems in your hand? So going over to paragraph 7, it said, this world has many seeming separate haunts where mercy has no meaning and attack appears as justified. And then in paragraph 8, it says, the stillness of your holy self, your light, remains unmoved, untouched by thoughts like these, and unaware of any condemnation which could need forgiveness. When you're in the light, there's no need for forgiveness. And forgiveness is here because we believe in the illusion. In heaven, there's not even a need for forgiveness, because in heaven, when we are in that space, we are in the space of love and light. There's no need for forgiveness. So dreams or illusions of any kind are strange and alien to the truth of who you are. And what but truth can have a thought which brings a bridge to it that brings illusions to the other side? The Holy Spirit is our bridge to our shift in perception, to miracles, to our return to our one mind in God. So it says here in this lesson that, today we practice letting freedom come to make its home with you. And it says the truth bestows these words upon your mind that you may find the key to light and let the darkness end. And so this is the solution that it gives here, that only condemnation injures me. And the solution is Only my forgiveness sets me free. Forgiveness, letting go of the guilt. So that is, the lesson 198, I should say, only my condemnation injures me. So for some further reflection, again, I thought it would be valuable to read from the book, A Year of Forgiveness by Tina Louise Spalding, who channels Jesus. And as Jesus has spoken again through this course, through this lesson, Jesus is speaking here through Tina. And this is what Jesus says about lesson 218, the review. I am not a body, I am free, for I still am as God created me. Jesus says, you are blessed beings indeed. And I am that one you know as Jesus. It is such an important thing for you to remember that when you condemn another, it is only you who suffers. When you condemn another, it is only you who feels the pain. When you condemn another, it is only you, Jesus says, who loses. There is this idea in the ego's thought system that to attack brings you something. And this is a fundamental teaching of the ego's thought system, that if you want something, attack is the way to get it. But you get nothing by attacking. Remember, in our defenselessness, our safety lies. We don't have to defend either. You only further promote separation, which further increases suffering. Remember, the ego separates and divides. Spirit unifies and heals. I'm adding that, what Jesus has to say here. Well, that was all quoted in as well, the text. So forgiveness is not only an act for anyone else, which is one of the great misperceptions about forgiveness. It is for you. So again, forgiveness is not really an act for anyone else, which is one of the great misperceptions about forgiveness. It is for you. And when you forgive another, you stop suffering. When you forgive another, you are no longer inflicting separation on yourself. When you forgive another, your mind is becoming reintegrated and whole. And you have access to the reintegrated mind. Jesus says, when you have access to that peace of mind, or it says you have access to the peace of mind, you have access to the freedom from relentless thoughts that somebody with whom you have a resentment. You have the ability to forgive. You get the benefit of your mind back and your frequency goes up, and that means you're going to have better experiences, better encounters, which give you access to higher frequency things. So it says, whatever your resentments are, be they large or small, they are your judgments. They are your mind showing itself to you, and you suffer. Do not do this anymore, Jesus says. Step back from constantly offering your opinions, getting into arguments, especially Jesus is saying here on social media. It says you're being manipulated by the mass media systems who design constant opportunities for the ego to flare up, argue, judge, and struggle. And in that joining in, you lose. A lesson I've been learning, have learned, continue to remember what is being said here. This is one of the reasons this is one of the reasons we tell you to turn off your televisions and to filter your social media. so that you are not in provocative situations. It's not to make you a simpering weakling, oh no, but to get your power back from these useless wastes. The waste of energy being demonstrated through your mass media and social media systems is ridiculous. You are being played and your energy is being siphoned from you so that you do not have the access to it. Jesus is saying, turn it off, stop participating in arguments and judgments. Instead, focus on developing your consciousness, passions, and connection to the divine. And I'm going to add here compassion. You will be more influential, you will be more peaceful, and you will be happier. You will not be a simpering doormat. You will be truly powerful. And Jesus, to conclude, he says, I am the one you know as Jesus, and I will speak to you again. All right. So again, I'm going to read lesson 218, which is, I'm not a body, I am free, for I still am as God created me. And only my condemnation injures me. My condemnation keeps my vision dark. And through my sightless eyes, I cannot see the vision of my glory. Yet today I can behold this glory and be glad. I'm not a body. I am free, for I am still as God created me. So let's remember that as we go forward today and have a miracle-filled day. Have a day of peace, joy, and love and happiness. And thank you for being here. And I look forward to being with you for the next review 6, lesson 219. So please go below here and like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. That would be so appreciated. Again, it helps this community to grow, and it is growing, and I'm so appreciative of it. And I thank Spirit for that and for all of you. And again, as I've said often, we'll see where Spirit is leading this community. Spirit's in charge here, not me. All right. For now, take great care. And from my heart to yours, I extend my much love to you. And bye for now.